Hello, my name is Erica, and today I will be guiding you in a slow-paced hip opening sequence. We are starting on our backs in constructive rest pose. Feet are planted on the floor, palms facing up. Taking a few seconds here to let your back settle into the mat. Once you feel your back settled into the mat, cross your right ankle over your left thigh and keep your right foot flexed so that it stays aligned with your knee. You can stay here if this is a deep enough stretch for you, but if you want an even deeper stretch, you can grab a hold of your left thigh with both of your hands. After a few breaths here, if you want an even deeper stretch, you can grab a hold of your left shin. Make sure that both of your shoulders are on the ground and your hips are squared. Slowly release the left foot back down to the ground. Bring your arms out towards the sides. And now, keeping that right ankle crossed over that left thigh, bring both of your legs over to the left side until the outside of that left leg and that right foot is resting on the floor. You can bring your gaze over to the right and press that right knee away from the body. You should feel a nice stretch on the outside of your right hip. Slowly bring both legs and your head back to center. Uncross that right foot, plant it back on the ground. When you're ready, you can cross your left ankle over that right thigh. Again, if the stretch is deep enough for you, feel free to stay here. But if you want an even deeper stretch, you can grab a hold of that right thigh, bringing it in towards the chest. Make sure to keep the left foot flexed at all times, no matter which position you choose. And after a few breaths, if you want to take the stretch even further, you can grab a hold of that right shin. On your next exhale, go ahead and release that right foot back down to the ground. Bring both arms out towards the sides, and keeping that left ankle crossed over that right thigh, bring both of your legs over to the right until your left foot and the outside of your right leg are resting on the floor. You can bring your gaze over to the left and press that left knee away from the body. Staying here for a few more breaths so that you can really feel the stretch. Slowly bring both legs and your head back to center. Uncross the left ankle and plant your foot back onto the ground. Walk your feet out in front of you. Bring the arms overhead for a full body stretch. Walk the feet back in, roll over to the right side of your body, and using the help of both of your hands, come up to a standing position at the top of your mat. Bring the hands into prayer at the center of your chest. Close the eyes and feel grounded through your feet. Bring your awareness to your breath. Inhaling and exhaling, mountain pose, opening the eyes. Inhaling, reaching the arms up, palms together, back bending here if you'd like. And exhaling, Uttanasana or forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. And exhaling, planting both hands down, stepping back with that right leg, low lunge. Inhale, lengthen onto the fingertips. And exhale, plant both palms down, stepping back with that left foot, downward facing dog. You can start to pedal out the feet here. And on the next inhale, bring both legs back to a neutral position. Shift forward into high plank. And exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Bring that right leg up for three-legged dog. And then open the hip up, bending at that right knee. Square off your hips again. Inhale, bring that right knee into the chest, plant it between both hands. Feel grounded in your feet and come up to high lunge. Take a slight bend in that back leg to square the hips off and then straighten the back leg again. Lengthening on each inhale and getting deeper into the pose on each exhale. You should feel a nice deep stretch in your psoas or the front of that left hip. And opening up to Warrior Two. Make sure the outside of your back foot and that big toe is pressing into the ground. This is going to create an arch in that left foot. Feel equal weight pressing through both feet, and you can gaze off the right fingertips. Bringing the right forearm to that right thigh, we're coming into side angle pose, bringing that left arm overhead and bringing that gaze towards the left arm. You should feel stretch down the left side of your body. Make sure the outside of that left foot is still pressing into the mat like it was in Warrior Two. Remembering to breathe, inhaling, and exhaling. On the next inhale, come back up into Warrior Two. We're going to straighten that front leg, pivot that right foot in and the left foot out a bit so both feet are facing forward, and come into a forward fold. The outside of both feet should be pressing into the mat. Try to engage the outside of both thighs. Contracting your abs will help signal your back to relax and therefore lengthen. And you can grab a hold of the outside of your calves or your ankles and bring your body in closer to your legs. remembering to breathe and bringing your awareness back to your breath. On the next inhale, slowly release the arms and walk them out in front of you. Then walk them out to the left side and pivot your feet to the left as well. Prepping for high lunge, feel grounded in both feet before coming up. Bringing the arms up parallel to one another. And then we're taking a slight bend in that back leg to square the hips off, and then re-straightening that back leg. Lengthen through the fingertips on each inhale, and get deeper into the pose on each exhale. Open the arms up, pivot that back foot coming into Warrior Two. Again, making sure there's equal weight in both feet and pressing into the mat with the outside of that right foot and that right big toe. Remembering to breathe. And now bringing the left forearm to that left thigh, coming into side angle pose on the left side, bringing that right arm up and the gaze towards the right arm. And remembering to keep equal pressure in both feet like we had in Warrior Two, making sure the outside of that right foot is still pressing into the mat. On your next inhale, coming back into Warrior Two, staying here for a breath, and then cartwheeling the arms down, framing that front foot, stepping back, downward facing dog. This time taking that left foot up to three-legged dog, and then bending at the left knee and opening up that hip. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhaling and exhaling, squaring off both hips, bringing that left knee into your chest, planting it between both hands. Inhale, lengthening onto the fingertips, and exhale, planting both hands down, stepping up with that right foot to meet the left, forward folding. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, arms reach up towards the ceiling, palms together, and exhale, prayer pose. Inhale here, and exhale, Tadasana, or mountain pose. Inhale, reach the arms up, palms together, back bending here if you'd like, and exhale, forward folding. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, planting both palms down, stepping back with the left foot this time, inhaling, lengthening onto the fingertips, and exhaling, planting both palms back down, stepping back with that right foot, downward facing dog. Inhale, high plank, and exhale, chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog, and exhaling, downward facing dog. Lift the right leg up into three-legged dog, bend at the right knee and open up the right hip, and make big circles at the hip in one direction. And now switch directions. And square the hips off again, bringing that right knee into the chest, plant it between both hands. Bring your left knee down to the mat, untuck your left toes, and walk your right foot over to the right a few inches. You can stay here if the stretch is deep enough for you, or you can bring both of your forearms to the ground. If you have both of your forearms on the mat, you can tuck your left toes under and pick up your left knee, engaging that quad. Once you're in this position, you can sway the body back and forward, or you can just stay in a neutral position. Coming back to a neutral position now. If your left knee is off the ground, go ahead and place it back onto the mat, untucking your toes. Walk the right foot in between both hands and lengthen. Feel grounded in both feet. We are going to walk the hands back, moving into half split. Make sure both hips are even. And inhale, walk the hands forward back into crescent moon. Exhale, walking the hands back, shifting into half split. Making sure to still feel length in the back. Inhale, walking the hands forward. And one more time, exhaling, half split. Find length in the spine. And inhale, crescent moon. Slowly bring the left leg inwards and turn your body towards the right. Sitting evenly on both hips, we are coming into seated twist. Use your left hand to grab a hold of your right thigh and bring your gaze so that you're looking over your right shoulder. Your right hand should be planted on the mat behind you, and you should feel length in your spine. Slowly come out of the twist, facing forward. We're coming into fire log pose, so stack your right shin on top of your left shin. They should be parallel to one another. And then we're going to walk the hands forward, feeling a nice stretch in our right hip. On each inhale, feel the spine lengthen, and on each exhale, try to walk the fingers a little bit forward, coming into a deeper stretch. On the next inhale, slowly walk the hands back towards the body. We are coming into fire log pose on the left side, so switch legs so that your left shin is on top of your right. Walking the hands forward here until you feel a nice deep stretch on the left side. And again, lengthening on each inhale and walking the hands a little bit forward on each exhale. Slowly walk the hands back in towards the body. You're going to cross the left leg over the right, coming into seated twist pose on the other side. So grab a hold of that left thigh with the right arm and bring the gaze over the left shoulder. Slowly coming out of the twist, plant both of your hands to the right of you. Plant that left foot between both hands, coming into low lunge first, and then bringing that right knee to the ground, untucking the right toes, walking the left foot out a few inches, and bringing both hands on the inside of the left foot. Again, you can stay in this position if you're comfortable. If you want a deeper stretch, go ahead and bring both forearms to the ground. And once you're in this position, you can tuck the right toes under, lift that right knee up, engaging the quad, and shift the body forward and back. Come back to a neutral position. Bring that right knee to the ground, untuck the right toes. Walk the left foot between both hands. Feel lengthen in the spine. We're walking the hands back to half split. And inhale, walk the hands forward to crescent moon. Exhale, walk the hands back, half split. Find a length in the spine. And inhale, back to crescent moon. Exhale, walking the hands back, half split. Make sure both hips are squared. And inhale, walking back to crescent moon. Plant both hands down, framing that front foot. Tuck the right toes under, lifting that right knee up. Step back with the left foot, downward facing dog. This time lifting the left leg up, bending at the left knee, opening that left hip, and making circles with the hip in one direction. And now switching directions. And squaring off the hips, bring the left foot back down to the ground, downward facing dog. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale, bring both knees down to the mat in an all fours position. Exhale here, moving through cat and cow. Inhaling, dropping the belly. And exhale, dropping the head, tucking the tailbone under. Inhale, dropping the belly. And exhale, rounding the spine and dropping the head. And inhale, come back into neutral spine position. Coming into pigeon pose, we're going to bring that right shin behind both wrists. Walk that left leg out straight behind you. And make sure both hips are squared. We're staying in an upright position for a few breaths, just to stretch the front of that left hip. And once you feel ready, you can go ahead and walk the hands out in front of you. You can either place both of your forearms on the ground, you can stack both of your hands and place your forehead on top of your hands, or you can walk your hands all the way out in front of you and have your forehead rest on the mat. Whichever position you choose, make sure that your hips are squared and that you're not falling over to either the right or left side. Slowly walk the hands back in towards the body, tuck the left toes under, and come back into an all fours position. Moving through cat and cow again, inhaling, dropping the belly, and exhaling, rounding the spine, dropping the head. Inhale, cow pose, and exhale, cat pose. Inhale, bring the spine back into a neutral position, this time bringing the left shin behind both of your wrists, walking the right leg out until it's straight behind you, and making sure your hips are squared. Taking a few breaths in this upright position, stretching the front of that right hip. And once you feel ready, go ahead and walk the hands out in front of you, taking the same arm variation that you had on the other side. Remembering to breathe here and bring your mind back to the present moment. Slowly walk the hands back in towards the body. Tuck the right toes under, coming back into an all fours position. Moving through 2 more rounds of cat-cow, inhale, dropping the belly, and exhale, coming into cat pose. Inhale, cow pose, and exhale, rounding the spine. Inhale, coming back into neutral spine position, and then slowly make your way to your backs. Once you're on your back, you can bring your knees into your chest, grabbing a hold of the outside of both feet and coming into happy baby pose. Just let the body sway from side to side. And then let your body fall over to the left side so that your left thigh is resting on the floor. Use your yogi toe lock on your right big toe and bring the foot in closer towards the body. Slowly release your toe lock, grabbing a hold of the outside of your right foot again, and then swaying over to the right side until your right quad is resting on the ground. And this time grabbing your yogi toe lock on your left big toe and bringing that left foot in closer towards your body. And slowly release your toe lock, grab the outside of your left foot, bring both feet in together until the soles of your feet are touching, and then bring your head in towards your toes for one last stretch. And slowly release both legs until they're straight out in front of you. If you feel inclined to take a Savasana today, then I invite you to prepare your body so that you feel comfortable. And whether or not you are taking Savasana, I thank you for letting me guide you in your practice today. Namaste.